part of my routine each morning is to skim the stories from a few different newspapers, and it's typically a mix of local, national, and global news. Now, this morning there were a couple of different stories which caught my attention, and as I got ready for the day, the issues that the stories raised continued to turn over and over in my head, and I found myself feeling overwhelmed, feeling weary and burdened with this sense of heaviness. Pandemic, social unrest, hatred, violence. And we as a church are called to bring restoration and healing. As I considered this sense of heaviness, this feeling of tension, I realized that it was rooted in this sense of responsibility, a sense that it was up to me or up to us to fix this. And as I dug into that further, I realized that at the very bottom of that, once I pushed everything out of the way, there is a sense of faithlessness. Because the weight, the burden, is a result of self-reliance versus a reliance on the power of God. In this week's text from the book of Acts that we'll look at on Sunday, Peter has just healed a lame man. And the people around are astonished at what Peter has done. And Peter responds to them by saying, "Why do you stare at us as though by our own power or piety we had made him walk? Why do you stare at us?" Peter's self-awareness, his understanding that it was not his own power, is striking. And his humility seems authentic to me. He directs the attention to God as the source of the miracle. The reality is we worship a God of miracles, a God that works out miracles through ordinary people like Peter, like you, and like me. And while God chooses to work in and through us, we are not burdened with the miracle itself. God shoulders the weight, the burden. We are given an invitation to faithfulness, an invitation to participate, an invitation to faithfully participate in the miracle. What do you believe about God? Do you believe in miracles? Do you believe that our God wants to work out his miracle of healing and restoration through people like you? Jesus says, "Come, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." And for that I am grateful. I hope that you'll join us this Sunday as we unpack this story in Acts further. Until then, be safe and be well. We'll see you in worship.